So it looks like everything must go. Wendy Williams is apparently selling off all of her personal items in her $1 million penthouse here in New York City because she's, according to sources, telling friends that she would like to move to California in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So the last time that we talked about Wendy Williams, we were telling you about canceling her podcast, but now her reps are saying, no, the podcast is not done. The website is still up and running. They're still trying to figure out the details of the podcast. I said to you guys before, in order to start a podcast, you can start one today. You can put out an episode today. However, I believe maybe her team is trying to put this together, maybe trying to get a major deal with a major platform for this podcast. So they're saying the podcast is still a work in progress, for lack of a better word. Before that, we were telling you about Wendy Williams telling a person that she's coming out of retirement, going into
I'm shopping for kitty litter because I have a wax museum in Paris and one in California. And so I'm going to spend a week in Paris and then 3 weeks in California and then immediately fly back.
Oh.
And then I want to be on TV, you know, stuff like Seth Meyers, you know, Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, The View, stuff like that.
That's good, yeah.
I'm formally retired.
It was unclear what she was saying, but based off of this news story, they're saying that Wendy Williams wants to move to California to be back on television. And apparently she's telling friends and trying to figure out with friends, how can I sell this, sell that, including some of her Wendy Williams Show memorabilia and the iconic purple chair. So The Sun writes this: an insider close to Wendy told the U.S. Sun that the former queen of daytime recently told friends she's eager to move to Los Angeles in early April. Today's the last day of March. They continue. According to this source, they said Wendy has been calling people asking them to help sell all her stuff. She's asking for recommendations on places that can sell furniture for you. The insider added that in her preparation for her move, she wanted to see how she could list items in her home, which could potentially include her iconic purple chair, among other keepsakes. Do I think that Wendy Williams, who wants to return to television, is going to get rid of the iconic purple chair? No.
But if she is,
I kid. That should be in a museum. The Sun continues. It says Wendy fans would be familiar with the eclectic home decor from her time filming from her apartment during the COVID lockdown in 2020. A rep for Wendy did not respond to requests for comment. During a recent podcast episode of Naughty But Nice with Rob Shooter and entertainment reporter Delana Dixon, they delved into their March 17th run-in with Wendy and discussed Wendy's supposed LA plans. During the episode, Delania, aka Miss D, said that the daytime TV star had told them she wants to do new projects. She definitely is trying to move to Los Angeles. She wants to be there basically within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And she wants to get back on television. That's where she was comfortable. Miss D also says that now, of course, I made the suggestion that we'd love to see her on a reality show just to see how she is putting her life back together as a single woman, what her next projects will be, but we'll see what happens if she does one. You may recall multiple media outlets were reporting that she was at Fresco by Scotto, a popular restaurant here in New York City, filming something, which made people believe, is she filming some sort of docuseries, a reality show? She was filming something. But a lot of people can get a production crew together and film something, and we will never see the light of day of this project. Not sure what exactly Wendy was filming here. So The Sun continues. He says, Wendy's projects seem to be in a fluid state these days, as she has claimed that she's highly publicized podcast is no longer happening. However, she has also been spotted out and about filming a yet to be disclosed project. As I said to you before, her rep, Sean Zanotti, has said that no, the podcast is still happening. This is just another story about Wendy Williams and her alleged plans for some sort of comeback. And I know a lot of fans have been patiently waiting. When, Wendy, when are we going to get this? And I told you in the podcast video that I did, where Sean Zanotti says, no, they're still working on this project. She even said to Page Six, she says this in a statement: we are still working behind the scenes on several projects. There has been no official cancellation of the podcast. You told us to Page Six. So we've been waiting on that. And I told you, a podcast really doesn't take a lot to do. It really doesn't. You can literally record a podcast today. Even if you don't even have all the equipment, you could record a high quality podcast from your phone and be able to churn out an episode. I understand that Wendy's team might be waiting for certain deals and things like that, but I do believe there's more going on here. Wendy has done interviews and things like that. She was at Sister Circle a few months ago, and she did a whole interview, and people said that it was great. So I just don't understand why we haven't even gotten one episode of this podcast, one of something that she's been working on out there yet. But you also know that Wendy is dealing with a financial guardian from Wells Fargo, so she doesn't have access to all of her money freely or independently. She also is dealing with a situation with her ex-husband, Kelvin Hunter, aka Kevin Hunter, and a judge has ordered their issues. He's trying to get his severance, divorce payments reinstated, his alimony payments reinstated, and a judge has ordered that into mediation. So, we've had the speculation that is she doing some of these things? Is the reason why she's not returning to TV is because she doesn't want to pay Kelvin. We have no update, and I'm looking forward to some sort of update in regards to Wendy Williams and what's happening with the Kelvin situation, what's happening in mediation, because she's dealing with that. She's still dealing with this financial guardian, and now she's talking about selling off all of her things here in New York to move to California. I know she was recently in California and she visited her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Wendy Williams move to California, because a lot of people are leaving New York, unfortunately. Us getting a podcast, us getting some sort of reality show, I think the podcast would be the most ideal thing. If she was going to do anything, the most ideal thing that she would or should do would be a podcast. But the first priority should be her health. As we reported about her meetup with that gossip reporter and in his podcast, she apparently was telling everyone that she wanted to get drunk. We've been telling you that Wendy has been struggling with her sobriety. She went to a rehab facility trying to deal with those issues. So that should be her priority. If that's in a good place, then possibly I think a podcast would be ideal, especially in 2023. A podcast, not even radio anymore, is an ideal place for her to start. And it would be the easiest place. The overhead for something like a podcast is so cheap. A new TV show or reality show, that's a lot more expensive. But even that she could do. She could literally record her own with a phone. Literally with a phone, she could record her own podcast. And she can even record her own reality show and put that out on YouTube. First of all, people would love that. Let me stop giving people free ideas. Y'all better run me a check. Guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts on this. Do you think the podcast is coming? Do you think some sort of reality TV is coming? Do you think that Wendy Williams will be returning to television? And what do you think about her selling all her stuff and leaving New York? Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Happy Friday, and thanks for watching.
You bring the lighter, I got the fuse.